My name is Ataya. I'm the founder and CEO of Mumzworld.com. Mumzworld is the leading e-commerce vertical in the Middle East for all things mother, baby, and child. Ten years ago, we discovered very important unmet consumer need gaps in the Middle East region for the mother consumer specifically. The challenges were access to quality products for mother, baby, and child were very limited. Second, the prices in this part of the world, which is a distributor-led region, were very high. In a very fragmented, proliferated region, accessing the right product at the right time for this consumer was also very difficult. On one side, we had consumer unmet need gaps. On the other side, we saw a very exciting trend globally with e-commerce. E-commerce was and remains the biggest trend of the decade. It was valued at around $1.6 trillion and growing at 29% CAGR. So we believed we could take the trend of e-commerce and use it as an enabler to solve these important unmet consumer need gaps in the region for the mother consumer. When we launched Mumzworld in 2011, the ecosystem for e-commerce was still very much in its nascent stage. For e-commerce to succeed, you need ecosystem enablers to allow you to succeed. Example, couriers that delivered cost effectively and quickly, payment gateways that worked, technology talent. At the end of the day, you are a technology business, so you need technology talent that you can tap into. Additionally, consumer understanding and awareness of the power of e-commerce was also important. So all of these enablers in 2011 were either non-existent or were very nascent. So we had to set out not only to launch a business to empower mothers in the Arab world to make informed decisions, but we had to shape the ecosystem and create these enablers that would allow us to succeed. So Mumzworld is, at the end of the day, a digital business. Technology is the enabler that allows us, to understand our consumer very intimately. Big data is what allows us to understand the demographics and the psychographics of our consumers and to be able to adapt and cater to that audience to the power of one. Technology is also our enabler for all touch points of e-commerce. The first mile, the last mile, the consumer experience. So again, technology is the driver of what allows us today to empower women in the Arab world to make informed decisions. So success breeds success. Oftentimes when other women see the success stories of other women in the ecosystem, they get courage, they get confidence that they too can go down that path of entrepreneurship. So that's one thing. The other thing is funding. At the end of the day, all business ventures require funding. Having appropriate enablers in the ecosystem and resources for women specifically to tap into funding is very important. The other thing is mentorship, resources that are accessible to women in the region to allow them, again, to have the resources, information, and tools to take their businesses from an idea into an actual reality. So I have been very privileged to be part of the entrepreneurial digital ecosystem in the Middle East region for a while now. This is my second digital venture, second successful digital venture. For me, success is being able to to create ecosystem impact, positive impact. Today, Mumzworld reaches over 2.5 million households in the Arab world. 1 in every 2 women in the region actually know us and have used us in some shape or form. We have created over 350 jobs. We are the go-to destination for global brands who want to tap into the Middle Eastern household. We have over 5,000 of them and over 250,000 SKUs. So Mumzworld has been able to tap into the Middle Eastern household, create on one side a positive ecosystem impact, on the other side employment, and on the third side we've been able to enable not only our customers and empower not only our customers but also our employees. A large number of our executive team and our leadership team are actually women. So I would say across the A to Z channel of Mumzworld, we've been very privileged that we've been able to create regional ecosystem impact. So failure is a hard word. Depends how you look at things. I would like to think that nothing is a failure, everything is a learning, everything is growth. We've had many mistakes, we've made many mistakes, and we've learned from them. I would say probably the most or the biggest learning for us, and particularly for women, has been on the fundraising side, raising capital for an e-commerce business, particularly when we launched the business, e-commerce was still very nascent and there was a lot of trepidation around investment in e-commerce. So for us, raising capital was difficult. The choice of investors, perhaps in the early days, wasn't necessarily the best choice. We were driven by raising any capital as opposed to raising the right smart capital. So I would say that was the biggest learning that had a lot of implications for us along the way. And it's something that I think we will not repeat. Being an entrepreneur is a challenge anyway, because you're creating something from nothing, you're venturing into the unknown. So entrepreneurs, whether you're a man or a woman, have their fair share of challenges. I think as a woman, for me personally, certainly I was the first e-commerce woman in the region to venture into the space. It is certainly a male-dominated ecosystem on all touch points, on the funding touch point, on the supply chain, even on the talent. So it is a male-dominated. So I had to learn new skills. I had to adapt my existing skills to operate within a male-dominated ecosystem. I had to also be super creative in how I can make my mark in an ecosystem where the DNA was very gender skewed. So yes, challenging, but we are here today, 10 years later, as the continued leader in this space. So although challenging, we come out of the other side very rewarded and with a lot of learnings and a lot to contribute to other women in what we have experienced. So eTrade for Women aims at including women and empowering them in the digital ecosystem. I have been a part of this digital ecosystem now for 2 decades. I am very excited to bring to the table tools, information, and resources that would support other women and allow them to be part of this this ecosystem change. I think right now, as I mentioned earlier, success breeds success, women supporting women and allowing them to be included in the next phase of growth is imperative. Risk taker. Team, never solo. So this is debatable. If you ask me, I would say naturally I'm an introvert. Others would say I'm an extrovert. I think my natural inclination is towards being an introvert, but I operate as an extrovert. It depends on the situation. I'm adaptable. I am very analytical with a strong intuition. Analysis allows you to get from A to B, but your intuition takes you to the magic point from B to Z. I am very definitely a doer.